The Hindu editorial explanation. Doublespeak. India is finding the Trump administration increasingly unreliable. Background 1. India-US. Trade relations. The US is India's largest trading partner, $190 billion trade in 2024-25. Key friction areas: tariffs, market access, visas, H-1B, data localization, pharma, agriculture, and digital trade. 2. Trump administration's policy pattern. Strong on rhetoric, America first, right-pointing arrow, heavy use of tariffs and sanctions. Fluctuating engagement with partners, right-pointing arrow, frequent reversals. Example: called off Indian negotiators, visit, right-pointing arrow, later invited India's commerce minister for talks. 3. India's energy security. India imports approximately 85% of its crude oil. Earlier, US pressured India to stop importing oil from Iran and Venezuela, 2019-2020. Now, US wants India to end Russian oil imports, after Ukraine war. For India, Russian crude is cheaper, right-pointing arrow, critical for managing inflation and energy security. 4. Sanctions threats. US envoy designates Sergio Gore, stopping Russian oil is top priority. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, India has got to stop Russian oil imports. Reports. Trump asked EU to impose 100% sanctions on India and China if they continue buying Russian oil. 5. Economic impacts on India. At present, India and Brazil face highest US tariffs, 50%. Indian textile exporters already facing order cancellations. C estimates right-pointing arrow tariff pressure may shave 0.5% off GDP, job loss is a big risk. Detailed explanation 1. Doublespeak. By US on one hand, right-pointing arrow, US talks of strong ties, Quad Summit, FTA progress. On the other hand, right-pointing arrow, harsh ultimatums on Russian oil plus high tariffs. Creates uncertainty and unreliability for India's policy planners. 2. India's policy dilemma. Caving into US right-pointing arrow, reputational loss, energy security hit, higher costs. Defying US right-pointing arrow, risk of trade sanctions, higher tariffs, pressure in Quad and strategic ties. India earlier complied on Iranian and Venezuelan oil, but Russia is a larger, long-term energy partner. 3. Strategic calculus. India values strategic autonomy, right-pointing arrow cannot be seen as bowing to US diktats. Balancing act, right-pointing arrow, strengthen ties with US for trade and security, but continue discounted Russian oil for energy stability. Reputational damage of compliance, right-pointing arrow, India could be perceived as a junior partner, rather than a strategic equal. 4. Impact on India's economy and diplomacy. Tariffs. Textiles, agriculture, and IT services hit hardest. Oil sanctions. Raises inflation risk domestically. Diplomatically. Strains India's multi-alignment strategy, US, Russia, EU, Global South. 5. Way forward for India. Pursue diversification of trade markets, EU, ASEAN, Africa, to reduce US dependence. Use WTO dispute mechanisms against unjustified tariffs. Push for FTA negotiations but without compromising energy sovereignty. Continue emphasizing strategic autonomy in foreign policy. For more updates, please do subscribe.